Hey guys, I'm with Andrew from Autel Robotics, and we're gonna go over the Evo right now. Hey, can you just tell us some really quick tidbits about the Evo that we should know, maybe camera, all that good stuff?
Yeah, sure. So the kind of the high level stuff here that we're looking at, this is their first folding drone. It does have a 4K 60 frame per second camera on the front of it on a 3-axis gimbal. So that's where we're gonna get that stabilized video. And 60 frames per second, I mean, you're gonna get this buttery, smooth footage coming out of it. One thing I've seen is that we're getting some really nice high dynamic range out of this aircraft. So you're seeing a lot of details in the shadows, even with the full sun.
Okay.
So that's what we're really excited for, and we're seeing a lot of that due to that image processor that's in there, helping process all that footage.
And what processor's in there?
So we're using the Umbrella H2. The XStar Premium was using the H1 processor.
Gotcha.
So we're expecting better footage from this. And the XStar, we all know, had a wonderful camera on there. So
yeah. And first and foremost, I really want to thank you for meeting me. I know you had to take time out of your day, so thanks again.
Of course.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. What we have here is we have the 3.3-inch display. This is the controller, and the we have a phone here, Samsung phone here, with the new Autel Explorer app, and Andrew's going to go over that with us real quick as you guys get your first look at the new Evo app.
So I kind of want to show you guys some of these camera settings. It's a little different than what you're used to getting a window. On the bottom, we have a bar here that's going to let us see all our camera settings. So we can adjust our resolutions. We can change from auto to manual. And what I've been told is that this is actually going to be a dynamic menu. I haven't seen it quite yet, so I don't know if it'll be in the app when it comes out. But what that means really is, as you start to use some of these features, like changing white balance, changing color profiles, they'll move themselves up to the front of the list,
okay,
making it quicker for you to get out there and going. So one of the big features in here that a lot of our XStar Premium pilots really wanted was to take photos during video.
Okay.
So this has a feature called Picture in Video, PIV.
So you'll actually be able to take video pictures inside the video.
Yeah, so we can do it manually, and when we start recording, you will get a little shutter button up here that'll take a photo. Oops, oh goodness. It'll take a photo. It'll take a screenshot, not a photo. So it's going to be the cropped resolution of your 4K video there.
Okay.
But we can also set up as a time lapse. So say you're flying a real estate gig and you want to take photos and video at the same time. Set it up for 5 seconds. You're going to get photos every 5 seconds.
That's really cool.
Really nice there. We can get into more of the camera settings: the grid, histogram, overexposure warnings, all in here. We can format the SD card as well. We can also change the encoding format. So we can do H.264 and H.265.
That's good.
So we're finding that H.265 is great. You're getting a lot more detail, but it definitely is a little bit heavier on the processor when you go to edit.
Correct.
So be ready for that. Kind of give you a little bit more of the rundown on the menus and what you're going to see in here. Our basic aircraft status. So if you're familiar with drones, you're going to always have this. This is going to let you know that everything's good to go, ready to fly. We can get into our flight controls. So we have our beginner mode. Go home, altitude, speed limits, altitude limits, distance limits. Get into our advanced settings, and we got our expo curve. So you can slow down that yaw rotation, so you'll get that nice, silky, smooth yaw.
You can also turn off the LEDs, I saw.
Yeah, you can turn off the front LEDs, so long exposure photography, so you don't get into that light creeping in.
Perfect.
Visual navigation, here's where we're going to be able to turn on obstacle avoidance. So we'll crank those on, and we'll start to see. Again, with obstacle avoidance turned on, it's going to slow down the aircraft a little bit because it's got to make those computers work. Okay. And this is a great menu that we haven't really talked too much about.
You said it slows it down. How much does it slow down? You said 20
it's
something?
about 20. I think it's around 22 miles per hour. It's 8 meters per second. It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So you can definitely get the job done there. With this menu, we don't really touch too much on yet. The advanced settings in the computer vision. So here we have downward vision positioning. We can turn that off.
Okay.
So if we're flying over water, we can get rid of those weird little moments where you'd hit a wave or something and the drone would kind of bounce up and down. Landing protection is going to recognize if there's an unlevel surface, and it's going to just hold the drone in position.
Okay. I'm zooming in.
Oh, yeah, you're good. And then Accurate Land is going to use the cameras on the bottom of the drone to take reference photos and give you more of a pinpoint precision landing when you come back.
That's cool.
So that'll be a nice little feature if you're, in a little nook and cranny, if you're trying to fly out of some trees, something like that. It should help you there.
Gotcha.
So, remote control standards, we can calibrate the compass, or calibrate the remote controller there. Image transmission looks a little different. We're getting some signals here, and some of this might change just a little when you guys finally get this, as we are looking at a pre-production app here. So just keep that in mind if you're watching this video and you're looking at the app and you're like, wait, well, where's this setting at? Something might got turned on or turned off.
Gotcha.
So keep that in mind. So again, when we're getting video here on the screen, we're getting a 1080p resolution video on your tablet or device.
Okay.
When we switch over to the video on the OLED screen, we're gonna get the 720p resolution.
Okay, yeah.
And we can actually change the image transmission here. So you could turn this screen down to 720. So if you're trying to push the limits, the range out there, that may be able to help. Our basic battery screen, so if you're familiar with the other drones out there, this is a 3-cell battery, so we only got 3 cells there.
Gotcha.
And we're going to be able to see discharge times and set some of those critical warnings. Our gimbal mode, we have our stabilize and our FPV mode. So FPV mode is going to give you that tilt in the camera when you shift left and right. What's cool, one of the features we'll kind of highlight here is it's called VR mode, and you can put this device into a heads-up display. And you're getting like almost like a fighter jet kind of view. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And then our general settings here, we can reset our home points, change from imperial to metric. This is the nice one, show aircraft coordinates. We can actually go in here and show live GPS, DTM. So if someone's doing search and rescue using the drone and needs to call it a live coordinates to the rest of his team, you're going to be able to see that right on the screen. And that was a big request we had from our first responders, and something we wanted to really make sure it was in here ready to go for them. So
yeah, this drone is definitely going to be good for search and rescue operations.
Especially to be able to throw it into a vehicle, because it's such a small footprint that it's not, you're not lugging something large.
You got the range, you got the flight time. I mean, this is just an all-around drone for search and rescue. This is definitely going to be the drone. But on top of that, you have for the artist in you, you also have the great camera, as well as the great video, 4K video.
And a great camera too, even for those first responders, just means more range, more dynamic range, so that they can dig into that picture a little bit more if they're searching for something.
That's awesome.
And what's great too, again, is we wanted to have a quick deployment for this aircraft. So say you see the shot, you want it, you need to get up there quickly, and you don't have time to put your phone on there, or you're on the phone with someone or whatever. We can actually switch over to the live video feed. So I'm just gonna hit this display button up here. I don't know if you guys can see that.
There you go, yep.
So you just hit that once, and that will switch over to our live video feed here.
That's awesome. Now, can you take it off real quick so we can actually see? Look at that, guys. That is sick.
So, and I think, let's see if my app is up to date, but the controller should start beeping at us. And we're gonna also see, so we're gonna see our telemetry, the sensors as well up here at the top.
See, that's awesome. That's a really good, like, that's really crisp.
So there's another nice feature with this too, is it's not just the video feed you're getting in here. We're getting into some of the camera settings as well. Okay. So using this navigation wheel up here next to the display button, I can go in and I can switch from auto to manual. Go back to auto. So that means I can come in, change my EV, I can change my ISO, change my shutter speed. So when we're running ND filters, we can make sure that our shutter speed is down at the proper, oops, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Now guys, one thing I'm noticing on here is even when his phone's connected, on how vibrant and how crisp the images are. I'm actually very impressed with this. Now, me comparing this to other drones, and even on my iPad that I use, or even any other tablet that you may use, I mean, just this screen is really crisp. When it's on his phone, it's very vibrant. I'm very impressed with this so far.
So, and this screen's right around 330 nits for brightness. So it does pretty good out in the sun. But it's always nice to kind of stand in the shade there.
Oh, absolutely. Who wants to stay in the sun? Really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So another great thing, we can go into settings here, and even when I'm disconnected, no phone, I have all these settings. So I can go in photo, video, I can turn on my obstacle avoidance, I can set my go home altitude. So if you need to do a quick deploy, you're not limited to the settings that were already on there. You can still adjust it on this screen.
That's awesome, yeah.
So it's gonna be cool. It'll be nice to be able to do that, because there's been plenty of times I've been out in the field and I'm like, oh, I don't remember how to get back home, and my phone's got 5%. So am I gonna fly and get the shot, or am I gonna take my phone off and save it so I can get the heck out of here? So this is gonna be nice to be able to go, oh, I just keep going. So.
Now, and then one thing I've been asked by people on Facebook and whatnot is how big can this hold a tablet, or how big of a phone can it hold?
So it's not very big. That's the max, really.
Okay, so just a basic phone.
Yeah. So my iPhone 8 Plus will fit in there.
Okay.
That's pretty much the max there. Okay. Now, if you look, it's just a flathead screw.
Okay.
So there will either be a new mount coming or third-party accessories that will be able to allow it. We've been exploring some of them to put tablets on there. Because the controller is so small to have accommodated a tablet right out of the box, just felt a little silly because half the time you're drooping. So
I'd like to thank Autel Robotics again for coming out. Thank you, Andrew. Guys, listen, we got a great insight of the Evo today. This bird is a phenomenal bird. It's awesome. You can see it in the sky and it's fast. Guys, pre-order this in the link below. Thanks, have a great day.